I'm Kareem. I'm about 65 years old. I have blood clots in my legs, in my veins, and my lungs. So I'm taking some medication which is doing me some good. I've been on the streets since middle of September, and I've been lucky and fortunate enough to have all these angels who came to my assistance in every so way. I can tell you about the angels, I can give you the first names. If I don't have the names, I will not give you the name, but I will tell you what they did. I've been on Memorial Drive for about a month, got robbed 5 times, got shot at once, and let's back it up a little bit. I was on Memorial Drive at a Walmart, and I've been there for about 2 weeks when the manager came out and told me, "You're on Walmart property and you can't hang out here." I said, "No, it says Marta on top." And she said, "No, Marta put their bus stop on Walmart property." I said, "Oh, okay." And no point arguing with her because she's the manager. So I wheeled myself 5 feet away and I said, "Now I'm not on Walmart property, right?" She said, "Yeah, you're right. You're not on Walmart property now." I said, "I can't cross the road because of the traffic and the signal light is really fast. So if you push me across the road, I'll go and hang out at the bus stop across the street." She said, "Okay, will do." She wheeled me across the street and took me to that bus stop, and she gave me $20. And she told me, she said, "You can come and use the restroom, you can shop, everything." I said, "But I don't understand. Why are you telling me to get off here? I didn't ask people for money. I didn't ask people for food or anything." She said, "No, it's just Walmart's policy. Nobody can hang out on Walmart property." I said, "Okay, that's fine." And I took my shoes off one night after I got to the other bus stop and left it next to me, and somebody came and robbed my shoes. I didn't have the money to buy another pair of shoes, and Marta won't let you get on the bus without footwear. You got to have something on. Somebody offered to, one of the angels came to my rescue, and I bought a cheap pair of shoes for $25. And the guy came back to rob my shoes again, but this time I was wearing them. It was just a black pair of shoes, not fancy or anything like that. And he came to rob the shoes. He had started taking off the lace, undoing the lace, when I kicked him with my other foot in his face. And he ran away. He said, "I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you." And I said, "No, I've seen your face now. Next time I see you, things are going to be different." Well, he ran away. And then a few days later, I was sleeping in this chair when I heard a shot and the glass shattered behind me. The bullet didn't hit me. It missed me, the glass shattered, and 4 DeKalb County police cars came there. I looked at them and I said, "I didn't do it, I didn't do it. You can check me if you want. I have no weapons, nothing." And they said, "Okay," and they left. So from there I moved to Memorial Drive and Southwestern Road. That's a bad area to go. And one of the other guys who was hanging around there, he was also unhoused. He told me, "This is not a place for you to hang out. Go to Lawrenceville Highway at Kroger." So I went there, and man, that was a beautiful bus stop. I was getting, after a few days, people were bringing me coffee, breakfast, lunch, dinner, not all on the same day, but different days. I got an electric scooter from one of my angels. I got ski gloves from another angel. I got a heavy, warm blanket from one of my angels who worked at the Dollar Tree as a cashier. For her to sacrifice that, she must have loved me. I never asked people for money or food or anything, but people came and gave me food. People came and gave me money. Some people didn't even speak English, and they gave it to me. I felt like I was a king among all my angels helping me out. And that's something you cannot buy or you cannot expect to have, especially when you're unhoused. One night, a police officer, he was a lieutenant from the local police station, came and buzzed his siren once. I knew what was going on. He buzzed his siren second time. I thought he was going to tell me, beat it, Buster. But he didn't. He came, spoke to me nicely for a few minutes. Hey, I got some food in the car for you. He brought me 2 containers. I couldn't even finish one. 5 days later, 2 police officers came during the day and said, beat it, Buster. So I left. I went down to the local church there, where I used to go and have lunch, showers, and laundry done. I was living there by the side of their rec hall. They all knew I was living there. Never dirtied the place, never messed up the place. Nobody told me to leave. I was at church in Tucker, and Don turned around and told me, I was waving at one of my angels here. Don came and told me, Frontline will take you. I said, Frontline? Who's Frontline? What is Frontline? He says, it's a shelter and they're willing to take you in. I said, no, it's not going to be a warming center where I go in for the night and leave during the day, because I don't know the area. So I came here on December 10th. December 24th, I was able to stand because I was sleeping on a bed and my legs stretched out. And Terry, who's one of the owners of this place, we were sitting at the same table having dinner. I told Terry, I said, Terry, I can show you something, you got to pay me, but. And he turned around and said, what can you show me? So I stood up and said, see, I can stand. Now pay up. He laughed, but he didn't pay me, not till today. But this place has been such a marvelous place for me. I can stand, see? This is all thanks to Terry, his whole staff, and his kindness and generosity of letting me stay here, taking me in, giving me 3 meals a day. And the meals are pretty good. Better than what I used to eat when I was on Memorial Drive. Bread and bananas, 3 times a day, for days on end, because that's all I could afford. And about 2 weeks later, 2 weeks before now, I tried walking into the bathroom rather than take my electric scooter. And I started walking into the bathroom. I looked at my legs and I said, hey, I can walk. So I started walking around the facility inside, Then I came out and I walked to that fence back there. I said, wow, this is great. Now, I cannot do any backflips or somersaults or anything like that. I walk slowly, a little unsteady, not sure-footed, but I can walk, which I couldn't do before I came here. Let's go back to my angels from Tucker. One person gave me a yellow jacket, neon yellow jacket, warm jacket. He came and asked me, I've got a warm jacket. Would you like it? I said, yeah, I would. So he brought it from his car and gave it to me. I looked at it and I said, man, this is nice. And that neon color was bright as possible at night. People used to come at night and give me food, give me money. One person came and brought me a sleeping bag. She didn't even speak English. And she gave it to me, and I don't speak Spanish. I know about 10 words in Spanish, but that's about it. She gave me the sleeping blanket, and she said, here, this tick, tick, tick. So I said, looked at it and said, this sleeping bag is good when it gets cold. So I took the sleeping bag. Another angel came and brought me an electric scooter and gave it to me. He didn't know me, he just met me twice before, and he just bought a brand new electric scooter and gave it to me. I was amazed, I was elated, I was so filled with joy. I didn't even thank him properly. But finally I did tell him, thank you, I appreciate your gesture, your help, and everything else.
How does it make you feel that you have all these angels?
I told you before, I'm a king among my angels. Don't have a kingdom, but I have all these angels. People gave me money. I didn't go and spend it on a $15, $20 meal. I ate, filled my stomach. No matter what I ate, I filled my stomach. When I left the bus stop, everything dried up. All the food, because nobody could find me anymore. I feel that God has sent all these people, all these angels in the form of people to take care of me. And that is something I will never ever forget. So I was at the church and I got the scooter. I used to go up to Kroger every day and shop for bananas, yogurt, stuff I could eat. Grateful that God sent all these angels in the form of people to help me out in every way that they could. Let me tell you a little story. When I was at the church and I had the electric scooter, I used to go down every morning, get my bananas, get my fruit, get my yogurt, and come back. And one day, the grocery supervisor or manager, whatever he was, I'm not sure, was standing outside and talking to a lady. And she looked at me and she says, we started talking and she asked me, she says, where do you charge your scooter? I said, Kroger. She said, what about your cell phone? I said, Kroger too. And we talked a little more. I told her I need to get this form printed out so I can get some help from Grady. And she said, one of these days when I'm not too busy, I'm going to come and get you, and we're going to go up to my office. And I looked at her and I said, lady, I want you to get in trouble. And she said, trouble? Who's going to get me in trouble? I'm the manager here. I can do what I want. I was like, ha, God sent another angel. But before we could progress any further on the printing of that form, I was down here. I am so grateful to Mr. Terry and Mr. White for taking me in and giving me all the help and support. When Mr. White, the first time I met Mr. White, I told him my name was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He laughed and he said, really? I was joking around with him and he said he's going to put me on stand-up comedy on the stage. I told him, I said, good. You know what my opening line is going to be? He said, what? I'm going to tell the audience, if you don't like my jokes, don't throw rotten eggs and tomatoes. They just make a mess. But you can throw 50s and 100s at me. And if you like my jokes, then you can throw bundles of 50s and 100s. And he laughed and he said, we can arrange that someday. I said, fine. I'm a person who's happy all the time. Ups and downs don't bother me, because I look at it this way. I'm always up, never down. You can try and put me down, it ain't gonna work, no matter how hard you try. I've got a positive attitude, and I hope that positive attitude will help me in the future in the way I know I'm going to need that help. I plan to work in the same field where I'm staying, helping other people get better and get out of this situation of being unhoused. There are a few people who come here to the warming center at night that don't need to live on the streets. There are a few people who are mentally challenged. They need some help. They need a caseworker, which I know today is hard to find, who's going to be their friend. Not just, okay, we'll do this and leave. I would like to help people, not in a way that you or anybody else, or the people I'm trying to help, can say, this is what I want, this is what I need. I'm not going to give you anything unless you're willing to better yourself. If you're not willing to better yourself, I'm not giving you anything. Because I never asked for anything, but I still got it. I never asked for food, never asked for money. They gave it. I still have the money with me, which I got from the bus stop. I haven't spent it all. I've got quite a bit.